bus seat that I've got set up currently. The old seat used that bracket, but motor went out on it, so it was just all wonky and very poor to drive and sit in. So I pulled this seat out of one of my friend's buses, I don't know, a couple years ago. He said to toss them. I disassembled them, hung on to them. This is not how it's supposed to be, but they're able to work that way because they're kind of modular. So you can get a couple different rails. So I've got that long rail that's a double seat. This is for a single seat, but usually one end's attached to the wall and the other one is sitting on the floor. This is usually the side that's sticking out. But what I decided to do was drill out the holes on this side, and both of those are tightened down. I mean, this thing is not moving. I can kick that poorly, and that's not moving. So it's extremely strong. I can use those seat belts, but I do have the one that I pulled out of here from that seat, so I might try and see if I can attach that and just use the factory seat belt, which would be awesome. And yeah, I had to use these to drill out the extra holes. A couple holes, luckily I was able to just use some of the higher end bits. I think I went up to this one right here to get that hole large enough to fit one of these bolts. It was like almost a ½ inch. It was a really large bolt. But the ones that I had to drill out completely, I started with that bit right there, went up a couple, and then here started every single one just to try and gently use these Harbor Freight bits so I didn't ruin anything, and get a hole drilled through this all the way up to, almost every single bit in this whole set. But like I said, it worked to drill through this thick metal, because this is 1/8 inch steel, so it's pretty tough to get through. But just using those little bits wasn't a big problem. If I would have tried going, a couple of these I tried going 2 up, and all it did was just slowly chew through the edge little by little, instead of, it ended up being a lot quicker just to do every single bit, and then your bits last longer. So that's my recommendation if you're going to do that. That hammer drill is a wrist killer, so I probably should have turned the torque down on that or something if I can. I think I might be able to, yeah. So you might want to set it to a lower setting instead of full force, because that will, if it catches wrong, it'll rip your wrist around. But yeah, looks pretty good. Like I said, I've got 3 bolts holding this in. You saw it's not moving. This other side, part of it stuck out. I wanted to make sure I have a little bit, so I will probably try to attach something on the end here for a cup holder. If I can have it just slip down into the edge here, something kind of like a box with just have a little ledge on there, so I can have some kind of storage there, or even if I just do a large box, that way if I do like a subwoofer or something, that way if I have to move it, it's going to be a lot easier with the doghouse to pull that up, because you have to take off 4 clips and this thing pulls out. You are able to lift this piece up on the front. That does slide up, and we'll see what I do if I have to do anything with the door handle there. But I got it in and out okay enough. I think there was enough room, but it's been a year since I messed with this. Yeah, that way I'm able to actually use this. So I mean, I could try and extend this out, but you can see how far this seat is. I'm not going to be able to put a full seat there. So I've got some additional seat options. We'll see if I bolt something straight down to it. because I've got a little fold-up seat that was middle seat for something. I got it from some guy for like 30 bucks, so it's pretty decent. It has some storage in it, has USB ports on it, so if I get that going, be pretty handy. I just gotta see what's going on, why this won't start, because I disconnected some things. We'll see if what's going on with the interlock, some kind of interlock system, but or if it's something else entirely. But it's it works for now. This is going to be just temporary, but until I can get another seat in. But I gotta get this going, so I'll probably leave the brackets in regardless, even if I replace that seat. This seat does not move at all. It's pretty rough and flat, but driving in town's not a problem. Driving out of town, I can see how much of an issue that could be. So this is just how you can use these brackets, these seats, out of maybe your own shuttle bus and reuse them. I mean, that at your own risk. If nothing else, if you had like a little piece of metal you could weld onto the bottom of there and then put a hole in it just to attach the front, that's an option. So this is an adjustable steering wheel, so I do have that going for me if I want. I'm gonna keep it all the way up just so I can see the gauges, but I mean, there's enough clearance here. Got a fist between the steering wheel and my stomach, considering this doesn't move. So if you have any questions about this, let me know. I'd be glad to answer them, and if this is still set up, I'll be able to kind of show you what I did.